to proceed.
Please do.
Please state your name for the court.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Hyde, but everyone calls me Corbin.
Ms. Hyde, could you tell the court just a little bit about yourself?
Well, shortly after I graduated from college, I met my husband, Harry. I always had a dream of being one of those fancy Vegas showgirls, but I realized that it wasn't for me.
So, where do you currently reside?
Well, after I realized that Vegas wasn't for me and my husband moved to Midlands, settled down, started a family, the American dream. 25 years later, 3 kids and 11 grandbabies, and well, we're still here.
Well, how are you currently employed?
Well, after all my babies left the nest, I was real lonely, so I went out looking for a job. A few days later, I met Miss Avery Bancroft, and she hired me as her executive assistant.
Well, what are your responsibilities as Ms. Avery Bancroft's executive assistant?
Well, I'm kind of like Miss Avery Bancroft's go-to granny. You know, I'm too old to be a go-to girl anymore. So it's my job to make sure her job runs as smoothly as possible. Every day there's something new. Some days I'm getting her coffee, answering her phones, or on those special occasions I order her favorite perfume.
Well, is there anything else you do for Ms. Bancroft besides managing her calendar?
Yeah, on the business side of things, I was actually helping her to prepare for the proposal early in January.
Did you ever receive any contact about this proposal?
Actually, I did. I got a call from a Mr. Mickey Keenan. He told me that he was an auditor with the Midlands Gambling Commission and told me that he wanted to meet with me since I was Ms. Bancroft's executive assistant.
Well, did you ever meet with Mr. Keenan?
Yeah, in fact, we met the following day.
What can you tell us about that meeting, Ms. Hyde?
Well, everything started out great, but then he started talking all loudly and rudely.
Well, what happened after that?
I mean, he just went on and on about how Miss Bancroft was involved in some bribing or something like that, and told me that I had to help her catch Miss Bancroft or I'd be thrown in jail. I mean, as much as I love Miss Bancroft, I couldn't get thrown in jail.
Well, I thought you said Mickey Keenan was an auditor.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought too, but then when things turned serious, she slid her badge across the table and told me that I had to help her catch Miss Bancroft bribing the chair of the Midlands Gambling Commission, Mr. Chase Covington, I setting up a meeting.
So did you ever set up that meeting?
Yes, I did. I set it up for April 13th.
So what can you tell us about that meeting?
Well, Miss Bancroft started off by talking about her proposals. She said how she wanted to add a new restaurant and a new hotel.
Objection, Your Honor, to hearsay.
Your Honor, may I be heard on those grounds?
Yep.
I'm using this to show the effect on the listener. If you would allow me to proffer, Your Honor.
I think it's being offered for the effect on the listener. I don't think there's, I'm going to overrule it.
Your Honor, if it is not being used for the effect of the listener, may I reinstate my objection?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ms. Hyde, could you finish explaining what happened during this meeting?
Yes, Ms. Bancroft started off by going into details about her proposals and said how she wanted to add a new restaurant and a hotel. And that's when Mr. Keenan interrupted her, saying that if she wanted to make everyone on the commissions happy, especially Chase Covington, what would she be willing to do to make it happen?
Objection, Your Honor, to hearsay once again.
Your Honor, we're using this to show the effect on the listener and the subsequent actions thereafter.
Your Honor, if I may respond.
Yes.
I don't believe that they used it for the subsequent actions, as before, Avery Bancroft was talking about things on the proposal, and Mickey Keenan interrupted her. Now that is not the subsequent actions of what she was saying, as Mickey Keenan was talking about something completely different, and therefore they are using it for the truth of the matter asserted.
Your Honor, may I respond on those grounds?
Yes.
As I mentioned before, we're using this for the effect on the listener. We're using this to show that Ms. Bancroft began discussing her proposal, and that wasn't enough for Mr. Keenan, and therefore she suggested extreme misadventures thereafter.
Yeah, but you're also offering it to show that it wasn't enough for Mr. Keenan, and isn't that the truth that you're trying to, isn't that what you're trying to prove?
No, Your Honor, we're not using these statements specifically for their truth value, but just to show that Mr. Keenan had a response to Ms. Bancroft, and then we're using Mr. Keenan's responses thereafter also for the effect on the listener, that Ms. Bancroft, that was only then that matters were taken.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes.
They are trying to use that the proposal was not good enough to show that Mickey Keenan interrupted them, and that is why it is the truth of the matter asserted and not the subsequent actions.
The objection sustained.
Any testimony that was elicited to be stricken from the record?
Not the initial
According to
testimony.
the proposal,
Not the initial testimony about the hotel and the restaurant.
okay.
What can be stricken from the record is the latter testimony of Mr. Keenan.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, Ms. Keenan.
Ms. Keenan.
Ms.
Yes.
Keenan's testimony, that's the hearsay, is that correct? Or
Yes, yes.
The words that she said,
Mhm.
coming from the witnesses.
It is not the subsequent actions.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, how did Ms. Keenan appear during this?
Well, Miss Keenan seemed like, I don't know, she just seemed weird. Like, I mean, I was a bit uncomfortable and she made me feel uncomfortable.
So did you ever set up any meetings after this April 13th meeting?
Yes, ma'am, I set up one for 3 days later, April 16th.
So in total, how many meetings did you set up between Avery Bancroft and Chase Covington?
It would be 3.
Now,
2.
to clarify for the court, whose idea was it to set up these meetings between Avery Bancroft and Chase Covington?
It was all of Miss Mickey Keenan's, not mine.
Whose plan was it for Avery Bancroft and Chase Covington to even meet?
Objection, Your Honor, to speculation may be heard. They haven't laid the proper foundation to show that Mickey Keenan actually wanted her to set up all these meetings between March 31st and April 16th. And therefore, she's speculating as to what Mickey Keenan wanted her to do.
Your Honor, may I respond on these grounds?
Yes.
This is rationally based on the witness's perception, Your Honor. As Ms. Hyde has already testified, she spoke with Ms. Keenan, and as to the April 13th meeting, Mickey Keenan told her she needed to set up that meeting, or she would bring up past gambling violations. This foundation has already been laid in previous testimony, Your Honor.
May be heard, Your Honor?
No, I'm going to overrule the objection. Move forward.
Yes, Your Honor.
So to clarify for the court, Ms. Hyde, whose idea was it to set up all of the meetings between Avery Bancroft and Chase Covington?
It was all Miss Mickey Keenan's, none of mine.
And whose plan was it in the first place for Avery Bancroft and Chase Covington to meet?
Miss Mickey
Objection, Your Honor, to
Keenan.
speculation.
Wait. I'm going to sustain the objection. You have to rephrase the question another way.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, would you have ever set up these meetings if you hadn't been contacted by Mickey Keenan?
Of course not. That was none of my business.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions at this time.
Roxanne?